Soul food, a culinary link to a historic past. Food is a central activity of mankind and one of the single most significant trademarks of culture. Soul food derived from prized Southern dishes during the American slavery era. Soul food, sometimes also called Southern or comfort food, is the foundation from which many popular dishes are made today. African Americans connect to their roots through food. Despite their cultural, political, economic, and racial struggles, African Americans have retained a strong sense of their original culture through many means, and among these, food has been critically important.
African Americans were torn from their homeland and stripped of all their belongings. The only things they were able to take with them were their memories of culture and traditions. These memories of recipes and traditions of culinary style have been cherished and passed to future generations.
The control and distribution of food during slavery are reflections of socioeconomic power, control, and status. Owners used food to manipulate, reaffirm their higher status, force work, reward, punish, and otherwise assert their power over slaves. Despite the owner's efforts, many slaves found ways to meet their own food needs.
Rice, cornmeal, and pork were staples in the slave diet. Food was rationed to them by slave owners, and the slaves would supplement it with food from their own gardens. They would grow vegetables, such as black-eyed peas, corn, squash, sweet potatoes, and other vegetables.
Few slaves were taught to read and write, so recipes were often passed down through oral tradition. Many of the dishes and recipes of the South reflect African and slave influences.
Fireplaces were the most common means of cooking food. There would often be a kettle hanging in the fireplace, which made one-pot meals a staple in the slave diet.
In the 1960s, Southern-style cooking was renamed soul food. Many of the original one-pot recipes were passed on. During this time, African Americans continued to try to make ends meet, so the traditional and inexpensive methods of cooking continued. Soul foods tend to be very high in starch, fat, sodium, cholesterol, and
African Americans have had impacts all over the culinary world. One outstanding example was James Hemings. He was a slave and President Thomas Jefferson's chef. It has been said that he was such an extraordinary chef that he cooked his way to freedom. African Americans continue to break ground on popular television networks and famous restaurants. African American culinary influences can be seen all over the city of Detroit. Restaurants that serve soul food can connect us all to America's past and keep the legacy of soul food alive. Motor City Soul Food is a Detroit area restaurant that serves up huge portions of oxtails, catfish, fried chicken, and much more that is well worth waiting for since they are always packed with hungry customers. Another popular Detroit area restaurant is Southern Fires. They have a large variety of soul food as well as many traditional Southern desserts. Food connects us to our past. Recipes should be passed down from generation to generation as a part of all of our family traditions so that the memory of our past will live on.